Winless streaks of 10 twice, 13, and now 10 in about one calendar year. And that's where we're standing right now with your Philadelphia Flyers. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Clear the Ice here on the Edge of Philly Sports. The world's the premier in Philadelphia Flyer post game entertainment with your boy Matty B coming at you on this Saturday night of your Thanksgiving weekend. And 10 winless. That is what the streak is up to now. Flyers fall tonight on the Isle 5-2 in a game that for at least two periods seemed like it might be the game the Flyers would get over the hump as they were really kind of flying around. But the same MO, the bad turnovers, the indecisive passes, and the fact that they just cannot really generate too much. They just can't generate any kind of offensive pressure. Finally bit the Flyers in the butt in third period where the Islanders just kind of steamrolled them, coming back from a 2-1 deficit and then scoring three more goals. So in a tune of about four unanswered goals to put themselves up 5-2. Flyers showed some fight legitimately or literally at the end of this game as they just didn't seem to want to quit. But those moral victories, they're not really helping us out on the old stat sheet. But 5-2 is your final tonight. Winless now in 10. Winless in 10. 0-8-2. Just absolutely amazing that a GM can endure as many of these streaks as Chuck Fletcher has now dealt with. This is his fourth double-digit winless streak in the last, as I mentioned, calendar year. Just absolutely spectacular. So where do we go for this game? Well, let's first go out to Long Island, and let's hear from the head coach as he met with the assembled media not too long ago, and he gave some words in his postgame. There you have John Tortorella postgame. This is absolutely, take this the way you want. I think John Tortorella really knows the cards that he's been dealt, and that's kind of where we're sitting right now. And I see a lot of social media blasts about fire Chuck Fletcher and jettison all this and all this other stuff. And again, I kind of harken everybody back to the summer. Were you not? I mean, this is what this team is going to be. Now, granted, the injuries haven't helped things out, but this was what the product was of. This team was this team back in July and August, and this should not come to any shock to anybody. And Tortorella being a diplomat here by not throwing his team under the bus by saying that they battled their butts off, which they did. I mean, I don't think that their lack of effort is really kind of in question, other than yesterday or on Friday against the Penguins, where they just seemed that the air was sucked out of them. But for the most part, in these 22 games, they battled. They have battled. They're just not talented enough. They just don't have it. They don't have the ability It's not in their DNA. So to sit here and ask him questions about, what what you see here, what you see there, what annoys you or whatever. I mean, it is kind of futile because this is what this team is. Three-quarters of this hockey team does not belong playing in the NHL. I mean, that's just the bottom line too. And they're going out there and they're battling every night. Get frustrated, and you should. It's been very frustrating this season, and then to endure yet another multiple game losing streak or winless streak, or I should say double digit winless streak. It's unheard of, and we've had a lot of these lately within the last say 5 or 6 years. We've had quite a bit of them. So that is a trend that is obviously not good. But did you not think that was going to happen this year? Come on, man. So 5-2 in the game, as he said, for 2 periods, this team played really well. They actually held 2-1 lead at one point, but soft goals. Felix Sandstrom again played decently tonight, but gave up a couple soft goals. I mean, come on, man. When you can't cover up your shoulder area, and you give up a goal top shelf when there's no screen, that's just misplaying the puck. That's a fundamental issue from the goaltender. So you can criticize that. You can criticize yet again the turnovers. The turnovers, man. I have never seen in my life a team that commits so many egregious turnovers in their own end before ever. Criticize that. Criticize once again the lack of offensive pressure that this team is a calling card of this team. But it all goes back to the talent. It all goes back to this team is just not equipped to compete or to win every night or win at all. They're equipped to compete, and that's what they've been trying to do. But they're not going to win many games in the way this team is built. We know this, and we've known this going in. The injuries are obviously something that we didn't expect. But to get kind of frustrated and start to kind of get the coach all, try to rattle them by saying, well, can you tell me who was the good part and who was the bad part? I mean, it's just stupid because it's all bad. I mean, this team is bad. So, yeah, there you have that. So let's get inside this game a little bit. Let's go inside the numbers and let's talk about scoring. The Islanders would get things going early on in this game, the 4:33 mark. Adam Pleach with his third of the year, 1-0 Islanders. But then Sedlak would get things back even for the Flyers at the 15:27 mark, his second of the year. That's how we would enter the second period, 1-1. And Joel Farabee would give the Flyers a 2-1 lead at the 9:28 mark, his fifth of the year, 2-1 Flyers. That would hold for about 7 minutes, and then Zach Parise with his first of two on the night, a power play goal, making it 2-2. And then, as I mentioned, the Flyers were just kind of steamrolled in that third period. Brock Nelson at the 2:57 mark, his 11th, and then about 20 seconds later, Anthony Bellivar, his fifth, and then about 9 minutes later, Zach Parise, his second of the night, his seventh on the year, another power play goal, 5-2 Islanders, and then the Donnybrook at the end between DeLorean and Delangelo, and just showed a lot of fight. These two teams will meet again on Tuesday at the Center in South Philly, but yeah, there you have 5-2 Islanders. Your stars of the game, Ryan Pulock, the defenseman from the Islanders, is your number one star. He had a 4-assist night. Zach Parise, your number two star with 2 goals, and Anthony Bellivar, the third star with a goal. I think goal and assist, goal and assist. So there you have it, 5-2 Flyers with the loss. The Flyers, as John Tortorella mentioned, did outshoot the Islanders tonight, 28-23. Now in the season, the Flyers are 631 for, 727 against. Really a part of their game that they've actually done very well with over the last 2 weeks, to include this 10-game winless streak. That's kind of when they turned this thing around. Before, the Flyers were getting just buried alive in the shots. But since this 10-game losing streak or winless streak, the Flyers have actually kind of erased that and have come out on the plus side of the shot total every night, or, just behind, like 2 or 3 or 4 off the pace. So that is definitely a part of their game that continues to improve. Tortorella, they tried to goad him into talking about the power play and the special teams. Just another horrific night for the Flyers. They were shorthanded 3 times and gave up 2 power play goals. And then they also had 2 power play opportunities of their own. and scored none. Flyers now on the season a putrid 10 for 69 for 14% as they fall tonight, 5-2, 7-10-5 now for the season. Just some other random trivia. The Flyers now have 53 goals for, which averages out to about 2.4. And then they've also given up 74 goals of the season, which averages out to about 3.4. And that's why they're 7-10-5. And what they are now in the race for Connor Bedard as they continue to strive their way into that spectrum. So yeah, as I mentioned, the Flyers will be back at this thing on Tuesday night at the Center against the Islanders, as they will play a kind of a funky home and home, separated by 3 days off or 2 days off. And Carter Hart will probably get to start on Tuesday night, as Sandstrom obviously coming in the third period yesterday and then getting the nod here tonight will probably not play, and Carter Hart will most likely be back in the net for the Flyers. How did the goalies do? Well, let's see, how did the goalies do? So Felix Sandstrom again got the start tonight. 23 shots faced, as I mentioned. He saved 18, gave up 5 goals. And again, we're going to sit here, and I've heard it all season long, and I've heard it when defending Carter Hart. It's the defense. Yeah, it is. It is the defense. It's absolutely 100% the defense. But some of the goals that I've saw, at least 3 of the goals tonight, Sandstrom gave up were on Sandstrom. Just not being able to play the puck correctly off the shot, not covering up correctly, and just stuff like that. On the Islander side, Varlamov was the goalie, 28 goals, 28 shots faced. He saved 26. So there you have it. 5-2 Islanders. Flyers now winless in 10 as we continue on with this season. But let's check in on a positive thing, because this is the part of the show where we check on our boy Connor Bedard of the Regina Pats. Now 24 games into his season. Had himself a night tonight, boy. 22 goals on the year. A hat trick for Connor tonight. 30 assists, now up to 52 points. A penalty minutes holding fast at 30. And the most amazing stat is he has raised his plus minus went from a 7 the other day or yesterday. It's now up to a 12, as he had himself a huge night tonight for Regina, as he continues to make a name for himself as a solid number 1 overall pick. In the Flyers, along with other teams, are starting to salivate over his potential services for next season. But there you have it, folks. 5-2. That's going to wrap me up. Again, quick, fast, and in a hurry. The beat goes on, and we continue to get ourselves through this season any possible way we can. John Tortorella taking the high road by not criticizing his team openly. And there's a lot of criticism to go around. Kevin Hayes is, he's scoring. He just doesn't seem to care. But he's pretty much the only offense we have. The defense, as mentioned, too many bad turnovers. Justin Braun, what are you doing here? Why is Justin Braun still a Flyer? I would much prefer one of the younger kids. Give Zamula an opportunity down there in Lehigh Valley. Let's try to trade Justin Braun or cut him. Let Zamula come up here and be the a solid defenseman. Give him the opportunity. If we're going to work out these forwards, we should be working out some of the defensemen as well. And yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around this team, but Tortorella taking the high road, not wanting to throw his team under the bus or not wanting to criticize his team openly, because I think he knows he's getting the best he can or the most he can out of these guys. These guys just don't have the talent. They're just not a good team assembled with good players. 75% of them don't even belong in the NHL. And that's what you're going to get. 5-2, winless in 10. We now turn the page to Tuesday night, when the Islanders will be in town and the Flyers will hopefully get this thing turned around. Until we talk again, folks, I will say it to my dying day. Let's go Flyers.